So it's, as you can tell by my voice, it's plants attacking me season.
Ah, yeah.
It started, 6 weeks. I'm in week 2.
You're in week 2.
I'm in week 2 and I want to stab someone. Real quick.
Did you be getting ready, I think? Did you go sleep then in October and they'd be like, now, we'll rev up now so that we can attack Carla now? And
they're like, silver birch, baby. It's time to spawn.
Let's get that bitch. Hello, I was about to press stop there. I don't know what I'm doing.
She was flicking all these things on the switchboard.
It was fucking...
I was like, ow.
Bring our kid to work day. I don't know what I'm pressing. Jesus Christ. When I say bring our kid to work day, I mean working from home because he's not fucking well.
Not well.
Nightmare.
Not well.
Nightmare. I'm trying to explain GDPR to him. He's not allowed to sit on my lap because there's personal details on the screen. He's just like, what? And then I was like, talking out loud about other people in the office who were like assigning themselves to stuff. And I was at one stage taking the piss, as you do when you're working by yourself. And I was like, she's taking the piss. And I said it out loud and he was like, you're taking the piss. I says, you're taking the piss. And he goes, you're taking the piss out my bum. And that's how that conversation.
Right, okay.
He just takes it to another level, but he does it in a way that makes sense. And I don't want him to say that to him in front of his teachers.
Yeah.
Like,
look, he's expressing himself.
He's, very good with language.
It's a new generation.
It is, yeah. Oh no, they're on wheels. Like they're on
wheels.
They were born with a difference.
They're on wheels. They're on wheels.
They're a different gravy. Have you ever seen like recent videos of babies dancing and all? They're rhythm. They just have.
They're on wheels. I'm sorry, that is one of my favourite phrases.
They are like toddlers on wheels. They're fucking crazy.
They're on wheels, so they're
pandemic babies. They're a different gravy.
Yeah, they are.
Different sauce.
Yeah.
They
are actually.
I want to see what the world's going to look like in 20 years just because of pandemic babies.
I know, because I was having a conversation earlier about there was like an interview thing that I had to partake in a while ago, and I was just trying to get the flavour out of some of the candidates, like just trying to get the flavour. And I was like, fine, I'm relatable. I try to be relatable.
I'm down with the kids.
I'm down with the kitty cats.
I can't wear this fucking glasses. They're scruffy. Right, anyway.
Why were you wearing them to look at me?
To look at me phone.
To look at my beautiful face.
To look at me phone.
To look at me. I
actually think I need a new prescription. They're deteriorating rapidly. Anyway.
Yeah, but anyway, I ended up having this conversation, got into a big conversation with somebody else that I work with, and I was just saying about, I was just telling them about the situation. I was like, I was finding it difficult to try and pull the flavour. And they were telling me about that generation, like 20, kind of 21, 22, 23.
Are these Gen Z or Gen X?
They're Gen Zs. They're not Gen Alpha. Gen X are above us.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boomer, Gen X. Sorry.
Millennials.
Gen X, Boomer.
No, that's not right.
Boomer, Gen X.
Millennials,
Gen Z, Gen A. Gen Alpha.
Gen Alpha, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Gen Zers.
So Gen Z.
The ongoing debate. They fucking hate millennials, but they're obsessed with us.
Yeah. But apparently, anyway, this person that I was speaking to was saying that they were also talking to a headmaster, and they said socially, because of the pandemic, a lot of them kind of missed that.
Graduating and all.
Like, but they also missed that that 2 years of development in social settings or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm trying to pull the flavour. I was finding it difficult.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's a weird one because everybody else kind of that age, I don't know. It's a tough one, but I'm like,
yeah, I suppose like what happens, I suppose like world events does affect certain generations differently, and it is interesting to see the outcome of that in, Oh, whoops, sorry.
Yeah, it was just a weird one because I was like, I'm just kind of, now what I will say is,
what were they just didn't have a vibe.
No, they couldn't cut a vibe. I was trying to catch a vibe.
Were they just so boring? Like what?
Yeah,
what,
like, you know, kind of, you know me.
Are you generalising the whole, just saying they're fucking shy?
No, but this group of people that I was interviewing, right. I was like, this is, what's the crack? Why is this difficile?
Yeah,
Trey difficile.
Loud of shite.
Do you know, I've done so many interviews over my many, many years of managing teams. And like sometimes you just know immediately, you're like, yes, they have personality, they're going to be great, blah, 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 all that other kind of stuff. And sometimes you're like, oh, that's their, like, or there's other people that you're like, yes, I can see the ambition, very determined, really interested. You know, there's all different kind of engagements, but like I don't know if it was just this grouping in particular. I was like,
it's not slapping.
They're so direct.
Right, okay.
And I was like, no, okay.
Fun.
Yeah. Like, it could have turned me off a little bit. I was like, okay. I was like, cool. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It was pretty crazy.
Can't wait.
And it was one after the other. And I was like, okay, no, cool. Sure.
Nobody's vibing.
Yeah.
So we'll see now. Come back. We'll schedule an episode for 20 years' time when you're interviewing Bobby.
I'd say they were like, she's annoying, and like none of her.
They thought you were a melt.
Yeah, definitely. They were probably like, I don't want to work with her.
I'm not fucking here. They took one look at you. I heard one word out your mouth and said, I'm not going to bother.
Yeah.
You know, I'll just stay here.
Or just cut the side of me, and they were like, absolutely not.
Chicken fillet roll on the way home. Like,
they were like, do you know what? Don't
actually, no.
Yeah, literally.
Not for me.
They're like, no, it's not slapping for me either. It's not a vibe.
Oh, fucking hell.
So anyway, that is me. That is me and my little.
Yeah. Let me segue into the topic of it.
Let's dive right in.
You know how you catch a vibe off somebody and you have a good feeling about somebody.
Yeah.
This episode's all about intuition.
It's all about those intuitive little things and where they've guided you and how they've guided you. And that can be good, bad, and different.
Yeah. I saw a tweet during the week and it was like you're taught that you have these 5 senses, but it's actually like 9 because gut feelings, and then there was like 3 other ones. Mm-hmm. But gut feelings was one of them, and she's like, that it absolutely is a sense.
Yeah.
Because there's science behind your gut and your brain, like connections, and you do actually feel feelings in your gut.
Yeah.
And it's not like just a fucking laffy taffy kind of, you know, it's not just a whimsical sort of thing. If you're a spiritual person, you might get it. These are they're scientific things behind them. Do I know them? Absolutely not. Do I research for my podcast? You know I don't. so don't even come at me. But
Jen was like, I'm sure there's a place somewhere.
There is. It's facts. It's facts.
It's facts.
That's all it is. Thanks, like we all kind of, there's like the most boring, quietest person will get a gut feeling on something. Like, it's not just
no, some people are devoid of gut feelings. Like, some people, I'm like, some people let themselves be dumb bitches. And I swear to God.
No, I think they do get gut feelings, but they ignore them. There's a difference.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I've done it myself.
What have you got?
Just red flags. You know, just like a fella's going, I feel like something's going on there. And then I just choose to ignore.
Jen's like, I'm sure there's something going on there. Do you know what? I'll refuse it. No, but there is some people that like repetition seems to be not key for them.
Yeah, okay. No, but they're just ticks.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, but they still get the gut feeling in the first place.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think it's true for everyone.
I think they do. Yeah, or you know when something happens, there's one. I don't want to say, like, you know, when you, first of all, it doesn't happen to me that often, so I can't really come up with a scenario where I think I felt it, but there was a scenario that I really, really remember, and it's like your heart drops or your stomach drops, and you feel it in your gut that this, oh my fucking God, this situation is diabolical. Yeah. Like, so I used to work in pharmacy, and I've been held up 3 times in work, but the first time, well, it happened every time, but the first time is, I really fucking remember it because I have, you know, these flashbacks of it. But he came in, I had me back turned to him, and I like, all I heard was him screaming like, where where's the roach? Because it was, Roche, the pharmaceutical company, that's who did Valium at the time, or one of them, or Xanax, one of them. And they call him Roach on the streets, So it was like, where's the roach? He had this balaclava on, a high vis, and he had a meat cleaver. So I turned around and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I saw this fella, and he had these like piercing blue eyes. He wasn't really tall or anything like that. He wasn't, but he was obviously very intimidating. And there was another chap behind him, like his fucking crony or whatever. But I just remember the feeling turning around and seeing him, and he was still screaming. And my stomach, like my blood ran cold, my stomach, it felt like it fell out my arse. It was just that, that really fucking horrible gut feeling.
Yeah, where it's like you feel like you're on a boat.
Oh my God, it was horrendous.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, that's an extreme version of it, because you can clearly see it in front of your face. It's a bad situation.
Yeah.
But it does, like, your stomach does fucking flips when there's a bad situation or on the horizon.
On the horizon? Well, we all know I'm not going to bore you with me and my intuition.
Yeah. She's a Cancer, guys.
Because I'm a Cancer and I'm very intuitive. But Tom actually read a book on good health.
He did?
Yeah.
Did he finish it?
Yeah, he did. It's called 10% Human. I just texted him to get the full name so you guys can look it up yourself. He said it's fascinating in capital letters. It's by Alana Colleen. And I said, okay, thank you. And he said, we're more microbes than we are human cells by around 10-1 ratio. Not bad.
I don't understand that.
Like we're more okay.
Don't just move on.
And I was like, how do gut feelings work then? And he said, so you had a sweet and there was a microbe that liked it and it broke it down into chemicals that made you feel satisfied. Then you'd want that sweet as you're getting kind of a reward, and then that actually happens. So they can literally dictate what you want to eat, your microbes.
Okay.
And I was like, this is not what this is about. But I was like,
yeah.
So I was like, no, I'm sure there is. I'm sure I read something, or maybe I read the back of his book, or you read the back of his book. I'm sure.
Maybe, yeah.
Because he also has that other one, that jellyfish one. What's it called?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I read trash.
Yeah.
And Tom reads like factual.
Yeah.
Like,
or like studies.
How to help yourself and studies. Yeah, exactly. Research and all this other, like, what is that jellyfish one?
I don't fucking text him. Find out.
I'll text him. What's that jellyfish book? Sorry, he said.
Just get Tom in to co-host.
Tom said, gut feelings is more like the brain noticing unconsciously some patterns or signs of something, and it's expressed in the gut as a feeling because they're also interconnected.
Yes, that's basically what I said.
He said, like, when we get stressed, we feel sick and our stomach feels in knots. It's all a stress reaction.
Yeah.
There you go.
So maybe it's the subconscious then picking up on traits of like,
where you're like, danger.
Yeah, so it's not in your actual consciousness or your, what's it called? There's subconscious and there's the other one. I'm not working today. Yeah, your conscious mind. Some stuff that you're actively thinking about that you can kind of picture in your head, but your subconscious is like stuff that you've learned and it just kind of went to the back of the library and you don't think about them all the time, but you will always know them, kind of thing. Your beliefs, that's your subconscious.
Sorry, I said to him, what's that jellyfish book?
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, that's about longevity.
Oh, so not the same.
What the fuck are you reading?
Longevity.
Like, and I'm sitting there I'm sitting there reading about fucking fairies, do you know what I mean?
In what context?
Like, oh, look, another lovely smutty scene for me. He's there like, did you know? Gut microbes can be linked to mental health, autism, autoimmune, etc. Cool, thank you. Jellyfish age backwards. There you go. That was that one. Been banging around the coffee table for fucking ages. Do you know what's on my coffee table? The Kim K selfies book.
Yeah.
Thank you to our listener who sent it to me. They said, you know what, this would be gorgeous for your coffee table. And she was dead right.
Absolutely. It's so you.
It is very me, yeah. And Nigel Barker's models one. Yeah, I have them too. Tom has all this science, bitch. And I'm sitting there like, woohoo.
Can you ask him what the longevity book is about? In what context?
Jellyfish age backwards, it's called. That was also good. And I also had another one called Gut Feelings. That's real science heavy though. It's a tough read, but I enjoy it. Thank you. You sound like my father. Sorry, Lifespan by David Sinclair is a really good read too. Fucking hell.
Is he banging these into your WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Just unprovoked.
Literally
Well, I mean-
unprovoked. I asked him one question about the fucking I asked him about the jellyfish fish book, and I asked him what the gut feelings book was, and now he's like giving me a seminar. I feel like it's the Tony Robbins.
It's a recommendation book.
Yeah.
Or a list.
He also, so Lifespan by David Sinclair, he said is really good, and he's also releasing another one real soon. So that's an exclusive from my phone to your ears.
He's releasing another. He's one of these fuckers that knows where the director was going with that.
Yeah.
You know, like you watch a film and
No, he's shit with films. I have to always explain films to
no,
him.
but what I mean is, you know, the way that we were saying, like we didn't like say the Batman,
Yeah,
but
because it was emo.
yeah, but fans of the direct was that Christopher Nolan?
No, not the new one. The new one was I can't remember. Was it Prisoner of Azkaban, man? No, I can't remember. Anyway, I'll figure it out.
But people that loved it because they were a fan of the director and they knew the backstory. That's what he's like with authors.
Yeah.
That's
like, I'll pick up another one.
Yeah.
Another one. And another one. And another one. So yeah, so that is sorry guys, that was we'll just dive right into the rest of the episode.
So we asked you.
Yeah, we did. We asked you guys because I was like, as I said, I feel like I've told all my intuitive stories, my witchy poo stories.
You had a feeling.
I get called witchy poo a lot, you know, because I am a little bit witchy poo. I can be, and sometimes I can be dumb bitchy poo.
My sister's like that. My sister has predicted like the day of the week when somebody's going to have their baby. She can tell you like the exact. She's like, I have a feeling that baby's going to be born on like a Tuesday, and it always happens.
Mad weird. Apparently, I predicted somebody having a girl. One of our listeners wrote in.
There you go. Now.
So there you go. I said they'd have a girl. I just was like, I think it's going to be a girl. And they had a girl, and they were like, Carly, you predicted the sex of my baby. I was like, well, it was girl or boy.
Yeah, 50-50 chance.
50-50, my guy.
Yeah, don't be giving her credit for that.
I was like, 50-50, I'll take it.
Yeah.
A win is a win. A win is a win.
Yeah, exactly. No, we asked you about your intuitive vibes, and like a lot of the same stuff comes up. Because like somebody here said, I can always predict a celebrity and friend pregnancy. But I do think people act differently when they're hiding a pregnancy.
They do, don't they? But it will never... Do you know, I was only thinking about this the other day. Do you remember when Kylie Jenner had her baby? And she just went teetotal. And everybody figured out that she was having a baby. You could have said she was learning to be a pilot, and I would have believed him more than she was having a baby.
Really?
And I don't know if it's because I'm just not...
I think it's because she's so much younger.
Kid programmed, or I don't get the signs or something. But that to me was like, that was the gag of the century for me. I'll still never be over it.
Yeah.
Like that was like,
yeah.
That was crazy. Like I was like, oh my God, what?
Yeah, I can't really remember. That was a couple of years ago, wasn't it? Stormy?
2018 maybe? I don't know.
About that.
About that maybe. And you could have said anything. I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have had a clue. I honestly was shocked, gobsmacked.
I'd say she was spotted. Like who? Well, we said this before.
She wasn't.
There had to have been an inside person that leaked that. Like there's no, you know, because we were saying before about like conspiracy theories and stuff like that. And one point that's always raised is like, how the fuck are millions of people or like this many people going to keep that thing a secret? They're like the amount of people.
Sorry, I love that. Yeah, I love that.
The amount of people that work for the Kardashian Jenners and like they just know, like they that got leaked. That you can't tell me that wasn't leaked by someone or like Chris herself, like you know, just dropping little thing just to keep the fucking. Because she went missing off the face of the earth, so she wanted,
which I thought was a weird choice.
Very strange for somebody who loves
you have
publicity.
so much photos. Just post old photos.
That's what she was doing, though.
She wasn't. She stopped posting from August. She went from August to February, no post.
Right.
And her babies were both born on the same day.
Oh,
or sorry,
stop.
the 1st and the 2nd of Feb. Isn't that mad?
She must have like a strict regimen.
She really, yeah. She gets just one shag a year. That's it. I tell you, lads. It's fucking mad. But anyway, as I said, that was like, people were like, oh no, I had a feeling. No, I didn't.
I'd say Chris she leaked that because she needed she went missing off the face of the earth. She was like, oh shit, people are going to forget Kylie. Not that they ever would, but in Kris Jenner's mind, she definitely leaked a little bit. Like, we don't live in America as well. Like, we don't see everything.
But that was like, Chloe announced her pregnancy. Like, everybody knew Chloe was pregnant. Chloe took us on the journey. Yeah. So it's like we had a pregnancy to focus on. The other one was like a bonus one. I was like, what? It's crazy.
I don't know.
Anyway, I had somebody write into us
Okay.
They said, I always had a funny feeling about our neighbour's husband. My mum and his wife are best friends and she has a son the same age as me. From a young age, I was always really wary of him. Just had such a feeling about him. Fast forward to a few years ago and we were talking about this husband and wife and I saw, and I said, oh mum, I've always had such an incline on him. I've always felt so unsure about him as a person. My mum just agreed and said, you've always said that. The next week, the wife arrives to our house in floods of tears and has been tracking her husband's location as he wasn't coming home as much as normal. She followed his location one night and found him to be having an affair with a 20-year-old girl.
God.
At the time, me and their son was 19.
Jesus.
Always trust your gut, ladies.
Yeah.
Over familiar men. That's one for me. I can sniff them a mile away. And I always will say it. I'll just be like, just saying something not up there.
Yeah.
You know, where you get a real kind of, like, there's too much eye contact and it's too over friendly. It's too over familiar. You're like, if you were a woman, I'd be like, you're kind of fake.
Yeah.
But because you're a man, I'm like, sinister, you're fine.
Actually, now that you say it,
Yeah.
I've been, doing kind of work out in the front garden, like clearing shit out, and we got a skip and stuff like that. And there's a man who walks his dog up my road. I don't know if he lives on the road. We're still so new on that road. I don't know who all the neighbours are. And we don't have houses facing us. So we're like just one.
Oh, okay.
Do you know,
just
so
one row.
we're just one row. And like the houses, you don't really like stop and wave, you know, because you're on the same side of the road. But every time he walks up and down and I'm in the garden, he will stop and be like, real, is it spring already? Kind of thing. No, and he's not creepy or anything like that. But I have been like, it's a few times he's done it and he stops. He doesn't just say stuff in passing. He stops to say it. And he's not old and he's not young. But I'm just like, you know I live here. Do you live on this road? Like, ask me my name. You know I'm new here. Do you know what I mean? It's just
it's a weird dynamic.
Such a weird dynamic. And it's not that it's what he's doing is wrong. It's not. He's not being creepy. But I do have a feeling.
Yeah, it's weird. That's what I mean. It's like, and it was so weird. I was like at something and I said it to one of my mates and he was like, yeah, actually, now that you say it. And I was like, I don't think it's with me. I think it's in general. I'm like, I get bad vibes.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, actually, now that you say it, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like, he's not doing that wrong. I feel
It's
there's
just
something with him.
It's like there's something that's being like, danger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And it can just pick up out of nowhere and you're just like, right, what the fuck?
And him and his little dog, and he's so non-threatening, but I'm just like...
Yeah, and you're just like, why am I so adverse to you?
Why am I allergic to you? Like,
yeah.
And
isn't it so funny how there's some people and you're just so allergic to them?
Allergic.
Oh my God. And you don't mean to be a cunt.
No, yeah.
But you're like, I'm going to blow. Like, you can't, I'm not for them. They're not for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, there's something, we're not a match.
No.
We ain't a match.
Exactly.
This ain't it.
And there's nothing that, well, sometimes they do stuff. Like, there's a every time he walks past, smile.
Oh, I'd leap over the wall now.
They'd be like, smile.
What is the reaction to smile? What is the reaction
I genuinely
to smile?
think we should just start upheaval from now on if somebody does do it to you, because
what did you just say?
Just so that they fucking think twice, because it's gone. It's just it's patronising. It's only ever said to women, so it's misogynistic in my mind.
Patronising, yeah.
And like that, they don't do it to fellas. So it's, to me, a sexist, misogynistic kind of thing.
Yeah.
Internalised, I think. Like, not like, he's not doing it to be sexist, but it's something that he will do to women.
Yeah.
Specifically. Do you know?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of, there's that vibe that I get, and I'm just like, what do I...
Well, I remember I saw something before, and again, I'm like, my brain is struggling to recall, but there was like a correct way to actually respond to it. Can't remember it myself. I'll just probably
look that up.
Yeah.
And ignore it and cause upheaval the next time.
Must look that up, forget all about it, and then just fight someone on the street.
Yeah.
How about that? Huh?
How about that?
How about that?
Catch me outside, how about that?
How about that?
Can do that, yeah, exactly. Somebody here says, I can always sniff out a liar. I think you can, yeah. I would say.
There's good traits, isn't there? There's like things that you can kind of look out for. Mm-hmm. It's a weird, like I always know like one of my friends in particular, every time she lies, she will just babble. And she's not a babbling person. I'm like, do you know how obvious you are right now? She's like, and and it was just like you. And you're like, that's interesting.
Do you know what I find so funny? When people lie and they don't have to.
Yeah, so weird.
Just.
Actually, to be honest, probably sometimes I do that too. So.
Adam, it's his go-to with Adam. He does it all the fucking time. And his brother does it and he hates about his brother. So I'm just like, why are you doing behavior. It? But it's like... The truth gets you into the same place, so I don't understand why. It's just trying. I don't know. He's just like, it could be something fucking. I'm applying for something, man. Like there's this little obstacle, and he'll be like, just say that, and a complete lie followed by a complete lie. Insert lie here, and I'd be like, but if I told the truth, I'd get the same. Like you're just trying to make me either look like a victim or like a better person.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying the truth. That's what I mean. Like they're just unconsequential white lies. And then I'm like, what the fuck are you white lying to me about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're like, sorry.
But then again, like the truth.
Did the van break down?
The truth is complete. It's on the same fucking level. Like there's no point.
Yeah.
People just. And then like that, you'll catch them by babbling. They have a bad fucking memory, so they don't tell you the same thing the next time. It's like, it's just. I don't get it. Yeah,
it's great.
I understand if it's life or death, and you need to lie to get out
away.
Of it. Lie away.
Do you know what? Lie away.
See, can you get away with it? You know.
And to be honest, lie away. Just in general,
nobody will blame you.
No one blames you. You know, it's just a bit kind of gas, but like lie away.
Exactly.
You know,
it's the white lies. I'm just like, what?
Yeah, make a good lie. If you're going to do it, like, just commit.
Or even tell me the truth. And
get a podcast. Do it on a podcast.
I would just rather the person tell me the truth, but tell me your thought process behind it so we can at least have a laugh.
Yeah.
Do you know? Like, I did that and come here. I know it was stupid, but I wasn't fucking arse. Do you know?
Yeah.
I respect that more.
Yeah. Do you know what I was about to tell you, bloody blah, but it actually turns out, I wasn't fucking arse.
Like, somebody, just a quick, or like, you're late for work. The fucking traffic was mental. Come in to me and say, I'm not gonna lie, I fucking rolled out of bed. I pressed news. Like, I'm here.
I took.
Do you know what I mean?
Just literally say, I tried to stop myself from sobbing in the shower this morning. That's what I was doing. I was trying to collect my emotions.
I actually would relate to you more.
Yeah,
pal.
I'd be like, I totally get it. I do that too.
Not that anybody has to excuse themselves for being late to me, but you hear it, kind of stuff like
just
that.
Like, Bobby, why are you late to the desk?
Yeah,
the desk at home.
Exactly. Oh, stop. We have another one here. Had a gut feeling cheating one. This is a big one as well that came in. Had a good feeling that he was cheating. No evidence, so I asked, and I was right. The kicker is, I was told it was my fault for asking.
What?
What the fuck?
Some of the things that people will say and do to get themselves out of a quote unquote bind.
Like,
it's like, yeah, I'm glad you asked. I am cheating on you, but it's kind of your fault because you asked me if I was, and now you're hurt. Look, you've made yourself upset.
Don't tell them what won't hurt them. Yeah. That kind of like.
But also kind of like, and I don't want to give the cheater props, but at least he told you.
I was going to say,
like, at least he told you.
Generally, that's where the white lies come in. Like,
that's where it goes wrong.
Yeah.
So.
And then you have to go investigating, and then it's like, I was right, but why are we looking at my phone? All this, like, bollocks.
Yeah.
You have to.
A hard agree.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a hard agree for me.
I'm glad that you got the honest answer.
Yeah.
Probably was better in the long run,
Yeah. And good for you for going on your gut, because that would have been tough. You're like, do I say it, or do I sound crazy, or what happens here? And then you're like, oh, cool, thanks.
Do you know what I fucking hate? When you have a good feeling about something and in the end it turns out you're right, but when you're forced to address it, it's like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
You're paranoid.
Yeah.
And like it's obviously gaslighting at the end of the day, because this person's after being caught, but that's usually what you're met with.
It saved me a lot of mental torture.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
give props to the person who had the gut feeling, because that came out of fucking nowhere, pal. You know?
Very true. In my teens, I found out my dad had an affair with on my mum with a woman down the street when I was a baby. My mum didn't leave my dad. This woman had her own family and kids and a boy which was a little younger than me. Growing up in a little village, this boy would have hung around the same kind of group of people as me, been at junior discos, would have asked me for the shift, etc. But I always had this hunch that he was a product of my dad's affair.
Stepbrother.
Sorry, you know when you're reading something and then you're like, am I reading this? Fast forward 15 years and a DNA test, I was right.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That is... You need to do a story time on TikTok about that. Fuck.
The way I just read that casually.
She nearly fell off the back of the chair.
What the fuck? My God, I'm delighted I declined his offer to meet him at the disco.
Imagine.
And I bet he is now too. What the fuck?
Imagine. Oh my God. That is fucking mental. Props to your go for that. Jesus. But then, like, it wouldn't have been your fault if you did. And I'm not, like, look, we won't go down that road, but...
Not at one point when I was reading that did I know where it was going.
Where it was going,
Not at one point when I read that.
I actually saw a DM. Was that the DM that came in and it was like, that sounds like it's made up, but it's completely true?
No.
But that's another one.
Oh, great.
We're in for another
great.
one. We're in for another one. Faking confidence till you become confident works in some circumstances. What? Did you put up a different box?
No. Because...
That's a...
Good feeling?
Is it?
I mean, I suppose it could be a good feeling.
Yeah.
It could be. I will say that does work. Like sometimes, like I had a thing, like a...
Oh yeah, the power stance and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but like I had a thing and I was like, do you know what? You're so awkward right now. You fucking hate it. Just get through it. And I was just like chatting shite and being an annoying person at an event. And I was just... putting my best face forward and I was like, oh my God, you're so socially awkward. And I was just pretending I wasn't.
Yeah, yeah.
And I am.
Yeah.
But I was pretending I wasn't.
Yeah. Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it, gang. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would agree.
It didn't like my bestie's girlfriend. Turns out she was cheating on her and hiding a drug habit.
Jesus.
I think definitely from outside the relationship, stuff like that can be glaringly obvious. Whereas the girlfriend probably did get the gut feeling about her girlfriend and then, no.
You can listen to more about that on our previous episode that we did with Mary from Women's Aid. Sorry, why is my brain? From Women's Aid, because I was like...
It's late on Friday.
I know. No, but it wasn't. It was from Women's Aid. But for some reason I was about to say it's the Too Into You campaign, but my brain just went too hot to handle. Netflix show. No, the Too Into You campaign. We did that 2 or 3 weeks ago. Have a little look if you're trying to help your friends get out of pretty toxic environments. Yeah. Pretty toxic situations.
My sister catching her boyfriend and BFF together. Intuition 101 right there. She just knew.
How do you cope with that? I'd have to do a big elaborate, like, gotcha.
Absolutely.
Like, I'd have to do a big... Like I'd be storyboarding it for months, do you know? Like I'd be like I'd be like, sure. And I would plot it out.
Yeah.
You know?
Let yourself get over it before you do it.
It's like that Reddit story. Do you remember that girl who did that? What? She caught her best friend and her boyfriend, didn't say anything, and started she was like, I'm going to disappear.
Right.
So I think she gave it 6 months, like applied for a new job in a different state. This is in America, in a different state, like put in her lease and everything, didn't tell him anything, pretended everything was absolutely grand, like got her whole life. She was like, I didn't have family. I don't think she had much family left or whatever. She was like, I'm making a clean break from this situation, and did it so slowly and just disappeared, blocked all her, like got her mail rerouted, everything, all in the background.
Oh my God.
And then like the final thing was actually just leaving her apartment and changing her phone. And she was like, haven't heard from him, the fucker can't find me. Deactivated all of her social media, everything. She was like, I am gone. Can you imagine?
What a fucking icon. Yeah.
What a queen.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and she did a big Reddit post being like, it gave me 6 months, or like, I can't remember how long it took, but she was like, I was able to process get over it, figure out my life, figure out my next steps, not have to deal with his butting, not having to deal with any of her shit, just completely cleansed my circle, started a whole new life.
Oh my God, that's iconic.
Like new apartment, new job, new everything. She was like, new fucking friends, new everything.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I would though.
Wow.
I'd love to be a
Would never have the courage. Wow.
No, fair play to her.
I'm too obsessed with having the last word. I couldn't.
See, this is what I mean. Would you not be regretting not having that gotcha moment? Because I'd be on with you on that. I'd be like, it's a different thing when a fella is cheating on you and he's just being a fucking dickhead, and it's for some reason normalised that like men just do this. It's kind of just accepted, and it's like fine. But when it's a boyfriend and a best friend, that's two people laughing at you behind your back.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I would make such a show.
Absolutely, I'd be the same. Yeah.
I would be like IMAX theater, like pretending there's some kind of premiere we've all been invited to.
Yeah,
like, use my savings to rent out the Savoy.
What's behind that, and like this is very deep and psychoanalysis.
Yeah. Totally go for it.
So I'm just gonna vent right now.
Okay, go for it, girl.
No, I think it's because you feel so humiliated because they're laughing at you behind your back. It's the need to get that humiliation
it's your
back
ego.
onto them. Yeah, you want them to feel humiliated. That's absolutely where that comes from. But it'd be so much fun in the process. But that, like that girl on the Reddit thread, I would like that. Use the time to get over it. Yeah. Go through me grieving process of losing these people. Go through the fucking like the pain of it, and then make a clean sweep. And just like the logistics of it. Was she riding him? Still, was she? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How did she live with it?
Yeah, I actually don't know that part.
Yeah,
I can't remember that part. But like again, her way of I think that is so much more effective,
and it's very mature.
But it also leaves him mentally
fucked
for the future.
Yeah,
because he'd be like, "What? Where?" And you'd be like, "Did she not? Nah, she didn't. Oh, maybe she did." You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know what the signal was. The friend would be like, "WTF?"
Yeah,
you wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah, it's very. Jesus, that was a big wheeze.
That was a wheeze. I felt like that squeaky toy in Toy Story. I sounded like him. I did, didn't I? I was like, where am I going with this?
That's the plants.
That's a fucking.
And you have them living with you. Now I know they're not
these
flowers.
are not allergic to. These are not the problem. These are fine. Leave me alone.
Circle. The call's not coming from inside the house.
No, call is coming from that park right there. That park right there. The call is coming from inside there. Okay, so leave me be. Yeah. Gang, one more, and then we're gonna have to continue with the juicy ones over on a little place we call Patreon. It's crazy. 5 episodes, €6. It's absolutely insane.
Link is in the bio.
You can hear me wheeze over there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be lit. You're gonna hear me wheeze the whole way through. Incredible stuff. Every time I breathe, Jen, it's not getting any better.
Is it not? Oh no. Fuck! We need to get an antihistamine into her.
I have to take asthma tablets at night.
What are you on?
What's it? Montelukast?
Montelukast. Or singular.
Yeah. It good. Makes me very
I've
sad.
heard it's changed lives.
Yeah, it is. It does make me better. And then I do the Telfast during the day. Anyway, I'm just a big bundle. 6 weeks of this I have to deal with. 6 weeks. So get ready.
Did you feel fucked?
All the time. I feel murderous all the time.
I do always feel like I'm hit by a bus. I don't suffer with hay fever all the time, but when I do, it hits very fucking hard.
It does. It really.
You with the B12 deficiency and all. Jesus, Carla,
I'm fucked.
We might cancel the podcast for the summer, will we?
And I have that. No, I'm fine. This is my bad time.
Fed.
Do you remember I went to Mexico and America last year for 3 weeks of it? I'm fucking living it up. I could breathe easy.
Yeah,
everything was stunning.
Apparently, the beast from the east is coming back. It might kill it all off you. Poor daffodils, gonna die of debt.
No, they survive. Anyway, one more, and then we go. Intuitive vibe. I was going out with my ex for around 3 years, and at the time he was working, and I was meant to pick him up afterwards, but his phone was off. It's almost like I got a vision of where he was and what he was doing. First place I checked, he was there in his boss's van with a girl.
What?
You couldn't make it up. There's been a few moments like that for me, and I used to think it was overthinking, but it's a different feeling. You get a sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach. I did this too. I totally get it. It was like, I literally, do you remember that time I just woke up and I was like, he was with that bird last night? And I literally was like, oh my God, yeah.
Fuck.
Proved myself right.
A premonition.
Yeah. It's like, it was so weird. I remember just waking up and going, do you know what? I actually think that this happened.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. I remember going into work and saying to my mate, and they were like, I was meant to tell you. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I fucking knew it.
And like you're trying
dating
when stuff like that comes up though, you are trying to be like, no, I just my brain told me.
Yeah, and you're like trying to justify to people. You're like, no, my brain.
Yeah,
no.
exactly. You're trying
like I thought everything was grand. No, apparently not. Gas.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Before we go, have you got an unpopular opinion?
I do.
Will I play the jingle?
Play the jingle. This is a jarring opinion.
Fuck.
And I don't care.
Right.
Nobody, and I mean nobody, as a performer, should be wearing flat shoes.
Ooh. Where's this coming from?
Kills it. I've always felt this way. And it's so funny. Sorry, exception Rihanna. She's the only person who can pull it off.
Right.
And I think it's because she's like, well, she was tall and pregnant, but also, you know, nobody. It has to be a kitten heel, a little booty. I don't care what it is.
A boot is fine.
A booty, fine. As long as it has a heel. Even if it's like a man's heel. Do you know that kind of, like a man boot heel? You know that kind of way?
Yeah.
But as in, it has to be at least 1.5 inches off the ground.
What?
I do not accept anyone on a stage wearing flat shoes.
What's that prompting this? Who did you see in a flat shoe?
Oh no, it's always bugged me forever and a day. It has always bugged me. And it was funny because I was sitting here with my friends and we were watching the Brits. Was it the Brits that was on? And everybody was langers. It was great.
The Brits?
Yeah.
Was it BAFTAs? Oh no, sure.
No, the
Yeah,
Brits.
Brits, yeah, sure.
Yeah, do you remember Fuck the Government? Yeah, that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember what that band's called, Wet Leg or something. And anyway.
Terrible name for a band.
They're supporting Harry Styles.
Wet Leg.
I don't know if it's Wet Leg. Someone's going to correct me. It's something.
I don't think it's Wet Leg.
It's something stupid. It's something like,
Let me look this up.
what is it? Like a dry arm?
Probably.
Anyway, I can't remember. Somebody was performing and I was like, there we go again. Fucking flat shoes. And my friend Stacey was here and she was like, oh God, yeah. Oh my God, now that you've said it. I was like, I don't care. Beyonce performs in heels always. And even if it's a little, as I said, even if it is a little 1.5 inches booty, she will always wear a little heel. There's just something about it. As a performer, you have to wear one. I'm sorry. The little mixed girls do it in flats. I can't stand it. I'm like, this would look so much better with some kind of elevation.
Right, okay.
And as I said, the only person I've ever seen to pull it off, and I don't know if it's just because of the styling at the Super Bowl, but Rihanna was the only person that I was like, fair, that
I feel
makes
like
sense.
clunky boots. Would she not have been wearing clunky boots?
No, she was wearing...
I feel like a boot going up your leg, but the big huge ones that they boot.
Yeah, but if they're flat, Jen, get them out of my life.
All right. Leg Night or Wolf. Is that it?
No.
There's Blood Orange.
No.
Madison.
No.
Is that the band, Madison?
Is that a
years
band?
ago.
Oh my God, shut the fuck up, is it?
I went to a concert and they were supporting.
When? 2002?
I saw Madison. Absolutely, I did. I think maybe they were... Can't remember who I think maybe it was 5. Or who the fuck was it? I don't know. Madison were they had one song. It was a good one though. Actually, I think it was top 10. Cunningham Maddie, Diaz Gabrielle's Ben, Harper Inhaler, Coffee Jenny, Lewis Mitski Arlo, Parks Orville Peck. Jessie Ware Wet.
No. That's Jessie Ware.
There's one that says wet and there's one that says leg, but there's no wet leg.
No, I'll get them out anyway. Oh God. Wet leg. Yes, wet leg.
Wet leg.
Wet leg.
Stop it.
Wet leg. I'm not lying. Wet
the
leg.
Brit Awards, sorry, there.
Yeah. Why? What were you looking up? Brit. Just
no,
the Brit.
I put in Harry Styles support act.
Yeah, wet leg.
That's gas.
Yeah, wet leg. Now,
Sounds awful.
they were hammered, and it's quite funny. And then that Irish band as well won, and none of them were there apart from one of them, and he was longer. Fontaine's Fontaine something DC. I can't remember what the fuck it's called. Fontaine's DC, I think maybe that might be their name. Anyway, one of them was there, and he, like, they were like, come on now, up to the stage quickly now, come on.
Went up. Only one went up.
And he was there, and he was hammered, and everybody was hammered, and he was literally, some of the stuff that he was coming out with,
Gas.
he hadn't a clue.
We need to do another episode on award season.
Yeah,
We did one in our first year and we hated that.
we hated it, but that's because I think we were like trying to figure out, were we going to do like the if test, or we were going to talk about Irish awards, because they're fairly boring.
Yeah, and I think that's,
I think we tried to do Irish award shows,
Yeah.
and I was like it's the meteors or broke for me.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we should do iconic awards moments.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe.
We'll
It's a suggestion.
see.
Anyway,
Write it
on to
down
my
before we
stomper.
fucking forget. Yeah, your stomper. Here, put that up there when you're ready to go. She pressed start. You pressed record on this episode. That never happens.
I know.
You're
Oh, what am I hitting?
Carla turned producer. Oh no, I'll do it then. Here.
You have to do my jingle.
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
Carla's Stomper of the Week. Like, where are you?
So, the fucking phone updated itself and I can't get into my notes now.
You're not here. You're somewhere else. Anyway, this song is a banger. It's called Lucid. It's by Rina Sawayama. And it's just one of those, like, it's a summer song. But anyway, great tune.
Okay.
Kind of Jax Jonesy. It's a real sticks in your head song.
It's a very generic one now. I feel like loads of songs sound like that.
Yes, but it kind of, the verses are good.
Oh, right, good.
There is singing in it. That
There's
one
a big,
just
deep meaning.
is big. It's like about dreaming, like lucid dreaming, except you're dreaming about a person. It's crazy.
Amazing.
It's absolutely crazy.
Thanks very much for listening. We're going to continue the conversation on Patreon because we had loads of submissions for this and we like it.
I just got an email from TripAdvisor saying cherry blossom season is coming in 3. I felt like, oh, don't you.
Who are you fucking telling? They're all starting to bloom out my way as well. Cherry blossoms. I loved them. They're fucking beautiful. Do you know what we found when we were clearing out the back garden, actually? A few gnomes. Like, they're ancient. Years old. I'd say they're older than me.
Mad.
And the paint is after coming off them, so I
very creepy.
I ordered acrylic outdoor paints, like garden paints off Amazon. It's due tomorrow. So me and Bobby are going to paint some gnomes. I'm going to keep them.
Yeah,
I like them. And there's like little bird feeders and there's loads of little stuff that I want to keep. Like, it's all vintage, I'm calling it. It's just like really heavy shit that'll probably cost fucking fortune to get rid of. But I'm going to keep them and keep my back garden quirky. And we found
make
two
it
of them.
weird.
Two of them are the same.
Make it
so
weird, for
Adam
sure.
said we'll call them Liam and Noel. And then we found one that's like lying down. Kind of like paint me like one of your French girls, and we were like, oh fuck. And he goes, no, they have another brother called Paul, so it's great.
Love it.
So that's it for next week. We'll talk to you next week, and what did I say? That's it for next week. Anyway, thanks very much for listening. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.